Chapter 4 The Director's Denial, J. Edgar Hoover, and the Invisible Shield. The iron grip secured its existence not through the strength of its criminal structure alone, but through its ability to compromise and paralyze the very state institutions sworn to destroy it. This dynamic is best exemplified by the career of J. Edgar Hoover, who for nearly 5 decades ruled the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, while simultaneously providing the Mafia with its most effective weapon, the invisible shield of institutional denial. The architect of compromise, Costello and the FBI director. Frank Costello, the Prime Minister of the Underworld, was the diplomatic bridge that connected the classic Mafia structure to the legitimate political world. His power, as established by the partnership with figures like Louisiana Governor Huey P. Long, was based on buying and controlling political protection at the highest levels. Costello's ultimate target was Hoover, whose authority to launch a federal investigation was the only real threat to the Commission's survival. Hoover's vulnerability stemmed from 2 critical sources: his secret life and his secret vice. The FBI director was an inveterate horseplayer who enjoyed betting on races and was known to have FBI special agents place illegal bets for him with Washington, D.C. bookies. These bookies were part of the vast gambling network controlled by men like Costello. The most compelling theory is that Costello would funnel winning horse racing tips to Hoover through their mutual friend, gossip columnist Walter Winchell. This was a subtle but deeply compromising payoff. The compromise was not the dollar amount. Costello reportedly joked about fixing races for Hoover's lousy $10 bets, but the association itself. By accepting these tips, Hoover knowingly tied himself to an illegal network run by organized crime figures. This arrangement functionally explained the FBI's official policy. Hoover reportedly stated that the FBI had much more important functions to accomplish than arresting gamblers all over the country, effectively dismissing organized crime as a local, gambling-related issue. The result was immediate and total immunity for the National Crime Syndicate. The Deniability Doctrine and the Blackmail Engine. From the 1930s until 1957, Hoover publicly and persistently denied the existence of a national, organized crime network, often dismissing the term Mafia as mere folklore. This deniability doctrine served a critical dual purpose. First, it allowed the FBI to focus its immense resources on high-publicity, less difficult cases, such as bank robbers and communist subversives, which enhanced Hoover's own celebrity and reputation. Second, and most critically, the denial provided an essential shield against blackmail. Hoover and his associate director, Clyde Tolson, maintained a deeply intimate, lifelong relationship. In the mid-20th century, the revelation of this relationship would have meant instant political and social ruin for the director, making the master blackmailer extremely vulnerable to being blackmailed himself. The accepted theory is that key Mafia figures, particularly Costello and Meyer Lansky, obtained compromising evidence, allegedly photos, of Hoover's private life. This provided the leverage to enforce the Totalitarian compromise. The Mafia used the very surveillance and intelligence tactics characteristic of the FBI to co-opt its leader. The threat of exposure guaranteed Hoover's compliance, forcing him to keep the organization safe by simply refusing to acknowledge its existence, ensuring the iron grip was protected from federal prosecution for decades. The crushing reality of Appalachian. Hoover's official denial, the foundation of the invisible shield, crumbled violently in the autumn of 1957. On November 14th, over 60 of the highest-ranking Mafia bosses from across the United States converged on a secluded estate in Appalachian, New York. The meeting, called by Vito Genovese to consolidate power, was accidentally discovered and raided by a single, alert, local officer. The sight of dozens of powerful crime leaders, men in expensive suits, fleeing into the surrounding woods was a national humiliation for the mob. The Appalachian meeting delivered a fatal blow to Hoover's credibility. The mass arrests of mob bosses from across the country proved beyond a doubt that a coordinated national organization existed and operated across state lines. Hoover could no longer maintain his denial. Under intense public and political pressure, the director was forced to shift the FBI's priorities from communism to organized crime. Just days after the raid, Hoover reluctantly authorized the creation of the Top Hoodlum program, finally directing the full weight of the FBI to gather intelligence on organized crime figures nationwide. The Iron Grip's era of absolute, guaranteed federal immunity was over. The accidental discovery of a secret meeting accomplished what decades of political will could not. It shattered the invisible shield and forced the federal government to confront the reality of the criminal state in America. This event set the stage for the legislative and investigative tools that would eventually dismantle the upper echelons of the Commission in the decades to follow.